In the news tonight, an historic year for the Grantley Adams International Airport as the tourism industry booms. A changing of the guard in St. James North. And in sports, the champions of the top tennis tournament to be crowned tonight.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you so much for tuning in. In our top story tonight, Barbados' tourism industry is booming to such an extent that the Grantley Adams International Airport is expected to create history this year with the number of passengers passing through. Over 2 million in- and outbound travelers are expected at the airport by year end. And the authorities are also reporting that over 50 planes landed on the tarmac today. Anesta Henry has those details.
Today was one of the busiest days in the history of the Grantley Adams International Airport. 54 flights were scheduled to arrive, bringing 8,000 passengers. 2,200 of them were direct air-to-sea transfers going on to board cruise ships, while the other 5,800 were staying on the island. Minister of Tourism and International Transport Ian Goodinedgel said 15 of the flights arriving are wide bodies and 15 are narrow bodies, while 24 are regional flights. He shared the good news as he joined other officials to welcome the inaugural Delta Airlines direct flight from New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport to Barbados.
Another very interesting statistic is that the Grantley Adams International Airport is projecting to have 2.35 million passengers by the end of this calendar year. This is certainly up from the 2019 figure, which I'm advised was 2.29 million passengers. So what it tells you is that the growth we're looking for and we're achieving speaks well. As you can see today alone, we have at least 6 American-based carriers flying into Barbados and leaving Barbados. And it all speaks volumes to what we're accomplishing.
And Minister Goodinedgel said, while traditionally the winter tourist season starts on December 15, Barbados is now witnessing arrivals from as early as October.
And that has in part to do not only with the United States airlift that we're getting, but also the airlift that we're getting out of the United Kingdom. We have, for example, with British Airways, 14 flights, and we have the same with Virgin, with their double dailies coming into Barbados. And that Virgin double daily service would have commenced on October the 27th.
He added that the airport is coping well with the increase in traffic, as ground handlers report they have been making significant investments.
Both Goddard Catering Group as well as Caribbean Aircraft Handling, I've been meeting with them since I took office, and I'm pleased that both ground handlers, they have invested north of about $6 million in equipment. Of course, we still have more, and they need more equipment, but of course it's a work in progress.
The fully booked Delta flight from JFK has a 160-seat capacity, including 16 first-class seats.
It's a weekly service. This now brings the total number of inaugurals that we've launched this year to 5.
Minister Goodinedgel thanked those involved in the aviation sector and the general tourism industry for helping Barbados maintain its thriving economic engine. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Well, there's been a major development in the Barbados Labour Party camp. Member of Parliament for St. James North, Edmund Hinkson, has announced he will not be contesting his seat in the next general election. Speaking at a Christmas party for the children in the constituency, he announced he is passing the baton to Senator and Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Chad Blackman.
In 2022, when Chad was back to help us in the campaign, I told him that I would not be running again, and that if he were interested in St. James North, I would certainly support him. So since coming back, Chad has been working, as I said, closely with me, because I'm one of those persons who believe that you don't just come off the street and say you want to run in the seat. You come, you do work in that seat, you familiarize yourself with the issues, with the people, and that's what Chad has been doing.
Well, Senator Blackman says he has been working with Mr. Hinkson since the last general election.
He would have said to me, Chad, perhaps you should consider St. James North. And at the time I was still in Geneva as our ambassador, or our country's ambassador. But time has a way of bringing things full circle. And I want to say that I'm here working with him to work with the people of not just St. James North, but Barbados, of course.
Senator Blackman is the former ambassador and permanent representative of Barbados to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva. He has over 20 years' experience in international development. On the last Saturday before Christmas, there's been a surge of shoppers in the city. Crystal Hoyt has that story.
The city of Bridgetown bustling with activity as Barbadians get their last-minute shopping done this Christmas. Whether it's choosing the perfect suit, selecting a new perfume, or finding that ideal doll, the streets are filled with shoppers on the hunt for the perfect gifts.
So I just left work, came down, got this nice little gift for my daughter. This bicycle is everything that I hope she wanted.
I'm here shopping for some fancy makeup. It's all about me this Christmas. If I want something, I buy it. I don't worry about the price.
I'm shopping for some household items as well as some gifts for my grandchildren. And I would like to wish everybody a happy Kwanzaa.
From a business perspective, reports suggest there's definitely been more traffic.
It's steadily increasing, so I expect maybe tomorrow and Monday for it to be much better. They're buying lots and lots of baby alives. They're buying LOLs. They're also buying a lot of remote control cars and Marvel toys.
So we're now picking up. Things weren't really too busy in the beginning. As usual, people are buying for the homes and stuff, and they leave their selves for last. So the typical suits, you're looking for Christmas parties, staff parties, Christmas Day, church, lots of nice jackets with the matching shoes and the matching bow tie, really a lot of great styles that we brought in this year.
And the store is buzzing. So we're definitely having customers shopping for the Fenty Beauty, the perfumes and cosmetics, the land, and the toy department. Definitely for the kids, everything is selling in toys.
Business owners expect the next few days to be even busier. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
And coming up on NewsNight, a community initiative launched to encourage healthy living. A local doctor has set an ambitious target of significantly reducing the burden of non-communicable diseases on this country. Through a 90-day step challenge, Dr. Emma Dash has been getting people moving. Sharika Griffith tells us more as winners received their prizes.
Barbadians are being encouraged to get involved in a community health program designed to promote physical activity and well-being. The initiative of the Live Well Clinic challenges people to commit to walking 10,000 steps daily for 90 days. Founder Dr. Emma Dash wants even more people to get involved in the fight against NCDs.
I'm asking for all of Barbados to come on board, corporate Barbados, everyone. We're going to do this challenge twice a year, biannually. We've started collecting prizes for the next one, which is starting in March. We can all work together, create these really great incentives for people to move, right? The purpose of Live Well is to reduce the burden on our public healthcare system, such as our polyclinics, by providing this low-cost healthcare.
20 winners were presented with their prizes during a ceremony at Pelican Village. Gifts included laptops, televisions, staycations, free insurance for a year, and even crop-over costumes. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Kirk Humphrey, has endorsed the initiative as he encourages Barbadians to play a more active role in their health journey.
I think Barbadians have to take greater charge of their health. I think doctors and patients have to work together. People have to know what are the, as opposed to thinking that you're just some passive recipient, a relationship between the client and the doctor, so that people are empowered to make decisions about their own health. Exercising becomes a lot more natural, eating healthy becomes a lot more natural. If you understand why you're doing it, I think perhaps the government can help in making those devices more accessible so people can check their pressure more often, check the level of glucose in their blood more often and those things.
Meanwhile, Director of Clinical and Diagnostic Services at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Dr. the Most Honorable Corey Ford, wants citizens to be proactive about getting health scans.
Whether it be in terms of mammographies, whether it be in terms of screening for prostate cancer, or whether in this particular stead, screening for colon cancer, but also get out there, exercise, and although it's a season of eating and drinking and having fun, to do things responsibly.
The next 90-day step challenge is scheduled for March. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw is urging principals to remember why they've been appointed to their respective positions. She says being a principal is not about sitting behind a desk and dealing with papers all day, angry parents, or having to placate staff. She was speaking to 50 new principals who were recently appointed.
I want you to always remember your why. Always remember your why. And the reason that you are in this position is because the children at your schools are depending on you to make sure that they have an environment that is conducive to learning.
Dr. Archer Bradshaw further tells the new principals to be fair and reflective in all their undertakings while being able to think on their feet.
You need to inspire your staff. You need to inspire your students. They must be rushing to come to school to see you, Madam Principal. They should be breaking the neck to come to school to say, you want to see my principal today, because you know when they see principal, they can get a big hug. They can get a smile, a pat on the back, something that they may not be getting at home. Because we cannot afford to have you being jaded in the system. Our children need you. I know that's what the fifth time I said it this morning. They need you, and I need you, and we need you to operate effectively and efficiently.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados, or Icab, is spreading Christmas cheer to the clients and staff of the geriatric hospital. As part of Icab's 50th anniversary celebration, which started last month, it is donating close to $10,000 in medical and other supplies that will make life easier for those at the hospital. Chairman of the Public Sector Committee, Kim Seeley, says the Institute, which has been donating to the hospital for close to 10 years, is pleased to help the clients of the hospital who contributed to nation building, as well as the nurses and support staff who cater to their needs.
Today we have delivered for you some blood pressure machines, airflow mattresses, oxygen gauges, and also we took into consideration that sometimes you have to be mobile. So we also took into consideration, we have delivered for you some heavy duty ones as well as some portable ones. I know you had a special request for bath chairs, so we also included bath chairs for you. And we also included those airflow mattresses. But you know these are very hot days. And you also had a special request for some fans. So we also included fans. But I also want you to know that through this drive, what also has happened is that we have some of the employers of the accountants that said that they're going to include the geriatric hospital as a charity going forward.
Ms. Seeley says employers of Icab members have committed to sending additional donations to the hospital in the coming weeks. She also adds the association intends to continue its relationship with the hospital when it moves to its new home.
I want you to know that this is 9 years that the Public Sector Committee has been doing this. But this year, because it's our 50th anniversary, we extended it to all the members of Icab. Next year will be 10 years. And I think that this is going to be your last year, this being your home, Becca's Road. So I know you have that beautiful building that you're moving to. And being 10 years next year, we want to continue this partnership and relationship that we have developed over the last 9 years. I'm hoping that through this exercise, we'll be able to get the ear of the minister so that Icab, through this relationship, can place a permanent stamp at your new location.
Meanwhile, acting senior sister at the geriatric hospital, Sheila Seeley, thanked the members of Icab for remembering to donate to the elderly who were once the builders of society. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, Damien Best will have the sports package.
Sports Time. Good evening. I'm Damien Best. Well, five-time champion Gabriella Leslie will be hunting for a record 6th straight women's title when she takes on Hannah Chambers in tonight's final of the Barbados Tennis Association Top 8 tournament. Number 1 seed Leslie defeated number 2 seed Serena Bryan in the semifinals last night at the Tennis Center in Wildy. Semi-final night in the Top 8 tennis tournament. Serena Bryan in black taking on Gabriella Leslie. This first set was on even keel, tied at 3 apiece. At one stage, Bryan long on the return. Leslie was guilty of the same mistakes, pushing Bryan off the baseline before Bryan flipped the script. And the frustration, that's an error tied at 4-all now. After trading a couple games, Leslie buckled down and seized the initiative. Patient in the rally, Bryan looking to be aggressive coming into the court and pays the price. Leslie with a glorious backhand down the line. That backhand was dialed in, and Leslie, full of confidence, moved one game closer to taking the first set up 5-4. And she would eventually secure the opener, putting Bryan on her bike, left or right of the court. Then comes inside to increase the pressure. Bryan too long. Leslie 6-4 then. Switch of ends for the second set. Bryan hoping to force a third. Talk about pinpoint, corner pocket, sweet. Leslie a spectator. More intrigue, locked at 2 games apiece. These two fighting hard for every point. Leslie looking also powerful. Snap of the wrist, goes cross court, lethal. Skip ahead, Leslie breaking Bryan on a couple occasions. And it's that weapon that has been tried and tested. Backhand winner, eye candy. The mistake starting to pile up for Bryan. Comes to the service line, but gets the touch all wrong. Point to Leslie. Despite a rain delay, Leslie would eventually cruise to a straight sets victory over Bryan. 6-4, 6-4. Just watch how she tracks the ball and uses the angle. Oh my, that is class. Excellent action at the Tennis Center in Wildy. And Leslie advanced into the final for a 6th straight time. In cricket news, it was a ding-dong battle on the third and final day of the 2024 BCA Elite Division. 6 teams were fighting to avoid relegation today, and in the end it will be either Gladiola or Spartan going down to First Division next season, while the Windward Cricket Club makes its way up to the Elite Division. 4 teams ended on 73 points, but Yorkshire and UWI are both safe due to their stats. Gladiola and Spartan only have 1 win this season, and it will come down to the final calculations, which will be announced by the BCA. Gladiola drew their 9th round clash with UWI at 3Ws Oval, while Spartan, who started with 68 points, earned 3 bowling points, and then Bad Light offered them 2 additional points in a no decision against YMPC in Queen's Park. Meantime, Wildy defeated BCA Youth by 9 wickets in a match reduced to 40 overs per innings after the first 2 days were washed out due to rain. Defending champions Empire claimed an innings and 22-run win over Yorkshire, and over at 4 square over ESA Field Pickwick defeated 2024 champions Wanderers by an innings and 27 runs. Well, Captain Hayley Matthews remains upbeat about her team's chances heading into the first ODI of the 3-match series against India tomorrow. Matthews again emphasized the importance of adaptability, confidence, and execution.
Playing against India, it's always going to be really tough, but we've got a squad full of really good players as well, who are quite capable of coming down here and being successful. I think we showed in that second T20 that we're a competitive team who, when we're at our best, can beat anyone in the world. So hopefully we're in that, I guess, kind of frame of mind and in that form of cricket throughout this ODI series and can compete really well right through.
Well, that first ODI starts at 4 a.m. Barbados time with live coverage on MCTV Sports Max channel. Well, West Indies batsman Shea Hope played a part in the Hobart Hurricanes' 8-wicket victory today over the Perth Scorchers in the Big Bash League. Hope scored 38 and Mitchell Owen led with 101 not out as the Hurricanes chased down 156 in 19.2 overs. Earlier, the Scorchers were restricted to 155 for 6 from their 20. Josh Ingles scored 49, while pacer Riley Meredith took 3 for 27. Finally, Arsenal moved 3 points behind Premier League leaders Liverpool after a 5-1 victory today over Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. And that's my time for sports tonight. Weather details up next.
We apologize for the absence of our usual weather presenter, but we'll still take a look at what happened today. So across Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, a ridge pattern was the dominant feature where mostly fair conditions were experienced. Coverage within the ridge flow coupled with marginal upper level support produced cloudy skies, light to moderate showers and periods of rain across the northern windwards and southern leewards. There was no rainfall across Barbados. Across Trinidad and Tobago, similar conditions to Barbados were experienced. Further south across the Guianas, the sea breeze effect produced cloudy skies, light to heavy showers and thunderstorms over the areas. Winds across the region were generally light to moderate, peaking at 20 knots here in Barbados, while swells peaked to near 2.5 meters in open waters. We'll take a break here and be back with the forecast. Welcome back. A ridge tonight will be the dominant feature across Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, where mostly fair conditions are expected. However, an area of convergence within the ridge flow, that is, will continue to produce unsettled weather conditions across the northern windwards and southern leeward islands. Tomorrow, there will be moderate east-southeasterly to easterly breezes from 30 to 35 kilometers per hour, while the seas will be moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 meters and increasing. And we'll be back after this break. And that's our news for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.